I am a being because I am thinking, and I cannot stop thinking. At this very moment, and it's terrible, if I'm a being, it's because I'm willing to be. The I that pulls itself out of the nothingness that I seek. Hatred and aversion to being are two ways to find myself, to sink into being. Thoughts are born from behind me like vertigo, and I feel them being born behind my head. If she gives up, she will come forward, between my eyes. And I always give up, and the idea grows and grows, and here is a tremendous one that fills me with my spirit and renews my being. In this struggle, I sometimes find myself loosening the reins of my thinking, imagining myself a simple, almost naive human being. I think a little, but I have developed a deep politeness that enables me on every occasion to do exactly what needs to be done. My malice is pure, spontaneous, and generous with all generosity, in such sincerity of my love for virtue. Even when my friends and benefactors betray me, I react to events diligently to extract moral lessons from them. I have never thought that I have the slightest right over others, and they do not have the slightest right over me. The gifts that life gives me I consider free and unjustified. I am very attached to everything, but I disconnect from everything easily. In this contradiction between existence and nothingness, between reflection and surrender, I find myself hating victims who respect their executioners. Because I know that hatred and aversion are part of my being, part of the I that seeks to exist, to sink into being in spite of everything. It is the thoughts that are born from behind me, to which I always succumb, that renew me, that make me continue this eternal struggle between being or not being. The man who takes the fabric I supplied and turns it into pieces of clothing gives me the value of using it. Work is the essence and the quintessential measure of value, but it has no value in itself. Only those who are not afraid of exhausting climbs through steep paths have a chance to acquire their luminous peaks. You can sell a caught fish to people, but if you teach them how to fish, you will miss a great business opportunity for yourself. However, history is nothing but the activity of human beings in pursuit of their desires. A person sees himself first of all and recognizes her in others. If you bring paper money to a country that does not know its use, everyone will laugh at your personal imagination. Nothing can have value without being an object of utility. The less you express about your life, the more your solo life, and the more stock you have. Philosophers interpreted the world in different ways, but the goal is to change it. You have nothing to lose except your limitations. Necessity is blind until it becomes conscious, and freedom is the consciousness of necessity. The mind always exists, but not always in a reasonable form. Undoubtedly, machines have increased the number of well-off unemployed. The experience praises the happiest person who made most people happy. Men's thoughts are a direct emanation of their material condition. Marx may serve a movement from history as a mouthpiece, but he cannot create it. History is made by men themselves. The only antidote to mental suffering is physical pain. They like to get where they have never been planted. We should not say that one man's hour is equal to another man's, but rather that one man in an hour is equal to the value of another man in an hour. Time is everything. It is impossible to bypass the laws of nature. Men make their history themselves. Surround yourself with people who make you happy, who make you laugh, and who help you when you are in need. People who genuinely care are the ones who deserve to be kept in your life. It is not the consciousness of men that determines their being, it is their social being that determines their consciousness. Everything newly formed becomes old before it can fossilize. Everything that is solid dissolves in air. Theory becomes a material force as soon as it controls the masses. The root is the very human being that you have to strive to understand. Philosophy could not solve the problem because it conceived it as just a theoretical problem. Humans can be distinguished from animals by consciousness or by religion. One of the most difficult tasks facing philosophers is the descent from the world of thought into the real world. Language is the direct truth of thought. The house may be large or small, as long as the neighboring houses are the same size. If there is a mansion next to the small house will look like a cottage. The philosopher produces thoughts, the poet poems, the criminal crimes. Not only the criminal produces crimes, but also criminal law, and with it the professor who lectures on criminal law. Work is the essence, but science becomes unnecessary if the external manifestation directly coincides with the essence of things.